Hey, 13, my lucky number. Yeah, I can show it to you when I'm done. It won't take long. Maybe like another 3 years. It's a surprise for the president of Uzbekistan. He paid top dollar for it too. He paid 5,000 Kyrgyzstan dollars for it, and well, I'm still waiting to see most of them. But in nowadays, because he commissioned it 39 years ago, um, because of the inflation now, I'm only getting $5 for all this work. So any help would be. Somebody accused me of panhandling on here the other day, not knowing that my channel wasn't even monetized. I do this for free until I get rich, you see. No, yeah, of course I can show you the whole thing. Hold on to your ears just in case. I'll mute it for a sec. I can't. I don't think I can do super chat until I've met the requirements. I don't even think I have the option. But that's not what this is all about. I like surfing. I like doodling. Wait. I like. It's not about the art. It's not just about the art. Okay. That's all I'm trying to say. Is that there's other things. I like to eat. Sometimes. I like to go surfing. Sometimes. And money. I like money. Big green fat juicy balls of money. All moist and tight. What a gross scenario that would be. What a gross bank that would be to walk into. Ugh. A big, tight, moist bank. Hey, welcome to Bank in Utero. I don't know what that means. I just repeat things that I've heard because I feel like that makes me smart, but I think it's the opposite. But at the same time, there's a lot of things I hate as well. So I went to clown college for 7 years. I should know. Anything you like about Pakistan? I don't know anything about Pakistan except that I love the people. I love the people. I love people everywhere. Just like normal, not normal, but everyday people. Everyday people. But you go to another country and you look for the poorest people, you know, or the humble people, you know. You can be rich and be humble, I guess. But I always find in any society, it's like the people at the bottom are the best kinds of people. They're the best souls. They live, they live by magic and love and hope and dreams and each other. In fact, it's always been the wanting of other stuff, more stuff, or things that can get us more stuff, like gold, cold, hard, moist, disgusting cash. Y'all know how it is. But we just gotta play by those rules. It's insane. Knowing that every dollar we spend is blood money. Anyways, back to the art. I'm gonna. I'm just touching up some lines. I'm seeing that I was. It's like I come out here sometimes and I ask myself, were you drawing in the dark? What were you doing last time, you know? I'm trying to figure out what to do with this. I think that's a hip. So the leg would be, that would be the leg. And the crotchal region, the Croatia, Crochonia, would be right here. Like, I can't tell if there, it would be like another bump for the hip, and then the leg would come out like that even. Because baby got back, you know? So. And then I have to draw the contours of that. I think, I don't know if contours is like the interior part of, this is the outside, so it'd be the out tour. Out tour. How's everybody doing, by the way? What is the best thing in my country? The people. The people. Without them, I wouldn't be able to get paid. I wouldn't be able to rob anybody. I would be lonely. Without, I have hobbies, you know. I like to, when I'm walking behind somebody in the grocery store, I like to kick the back of their foot really hard. What am I gonna do when everybody's gone? I mean, what would I do without them? You know, it takes a village to knock an old person over in the grocery store next to the fresh, what was it, the fresh food aisle. It's like the pre-made stuff, the pre-made wraps and sandwiches and stuff. You just trip Granny right into that crap, and she'll be crying for Tuesday by the end. They like that kind of stuff. They like feeling like a part of society still. You gotta rough them up a bit. How long did this drawing? I wish it was a painting. I wish I could paint. I can barely throw, as the monkeys that are running the show here will tell you, like, I can barely throw my crap at the wall and without it sticking. This is a great song. I've been working on this one for probably like 60 hours. This is my friend Sleepy Seahorse, his music. I only can play and show you all like certain things, like, because of the copyright stuff. It's very, very strict on YouTube. And I guess I could bring the up there. But let's have something coming out of it as well. Best thing in my country too is the music and creatives, artists. Every culture. That's another thing, you know. You seek out those that don't need anything are the smartest. And then also, this is why I'm super dumb, because I'm like a freaking hermit crab everywhere I go. I just carry the same stuff with me for the past 25 years. What a weird life. What a strange world. Beautiful, but beautifully tragic, you know. Because chaos has an order too. You know, people think that chaos is just madness, like undescribable, unchartable. But chaos is super ordered and structured. And what chaos does out in the cosmos is maybe different than what we might think of chaos inside of our own mind. But it's something similar, because when one thing explodes, it creates several little bits of that thing, and it creates life everywhere else. Just shoots it out in all directions. And this happens in our brain all the time too, and in our hearts, and in our dreams, jumping back and forth between different people without even knowing it. Living in other people's shoes. I always have these dreams that I try to fit into other people's shoes. Like, I can't. Like, I'm trying to put my own shoes on and they don't fit. And I'm like, what is happening here? But somehow it seems that was the chair. I didn't fart. If I fart, I'll let you know, and you'll probably smell it. Lo siento ahead of time for that one. I just. Oops. Oh shit. This thing's, it's like on a poster or matting board, so it's like the paper is really strong that I'm drawing on, and if that would have fallen onto my foot, it would have severed my foot. I would have had a lucky foot. I would have auctioned it off, actually. Does anybody want a foot? It's a lucky artist foot. What does it do? It brings you luck, mate. It brings you luck. Yeah, what kind of luck, though? Bad luck, mostly, but yeah, sprinkled in with some goodies. You gonna buy or not? I mean, I'm not gonna sit here all day. I've got to hobble home. You're bleeding all over the place, man. Yeah, I know, my foot just got severed, you dumb freak. God, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep at all. I guess I went to bed kind of early. A little bit sad. I woke up and it was 10:30 and I was like, I thought it was, 5 in the morning. Sometimes you sleep so deep that you're, sorry, I'm not drawing. Sometimes you sleep so deep that you wake up and you figure it's deep. That was a full night. I felt like I had just like went through and lived somebody else's life. Then I wake up and it's been an hour and a half. It's just exhausting. I can't think of anything that I've ever done that stopped me from having my dreams every night. Even when I used to drink until I was blackout drunk, I would still just have the most incredible frickin' dreams. That's another way that life is kind of strange. And dreams are kind of cool. Follow your dreams, people. Follow your dreams. It's never too late. I'm telling you this. Never too late to be yourself. The world deserves it. And so do you. Hey, Thatch. I'm drawing. Thatch, you remind me of one of my, long-lost producers. I think you and Terry should get together and go bowling. But I do appreciate the company. I guess I could put that right there a little bit more. There we go. Sorry, I'm not good at filming stuff. I'll just like start wandering off, and then I'm over here like doing stuff, and people are. I imagine people just don't know what the hell's going on when they come here. I gotta darken this stuff in a little bit more. It's driving me crazy. And it focuses on my hand. What if I cut my hand off? No. You need your hand. Do it? Yeah. Okay. 4. Just like you need your foot. You need to like walk and you need to like draw with your hand. And I have another hand. But then what happens when you can't? You're gonna be losing your hands left and right. Like literally, like your left and right hands, you're gonna be losing them if you go any further. Nobody understands me. Join the club. But your cat loves you. Does she? Nah. Maybe a little. Hey, I'll take that. I'll take that bet. I'll take that maybe. And I'll see you if you, hopefully. I also like drawing legs. there is a town in Oregon right in between Ashland and Medford. You can look it up on the map, but it's called Talent. And that little town burnt when there was fires in Southern Oregon. That town burnt up in one freaking day. And I think talent is a weird word. It doesn't mean anything. It's a nice compliment, but it hasn't never gotten me anywhere. So that's how far I can go down, like the other side of that negative part of it, where it's like, as far as getting like to make it my living, I don't know if it'll ever happen, because I can draw, but I can't talk to people. Not like I can on this with you guys. It's a little bit easier because I can sort of play a part, but in real life, I suck at talking to people, or I rub people the wrong way, or I send them too many messages at once. I'm that person that writes people and says, "So when are we hanging out?" And then they don't respond, and I say, "Did I do something wrong?" And they don't respond, and I'm like, "Well, if it wasn't me, then it must be you. So what's your problem?" I keep escalating stuff like just on my own. I'm one of those people, and I try desperately not to be, and I've been working on that part of my personality a lot, because it's somebody commented on one of my videos recently, and they said basically that to be an artist means you're gonna be lonely, like without friends, and I made some sort of joke back to her, but I agree, because as a kid, all I did was draw. I had my head down in my lap, drawing up comic books and drawings for other kids and stuff like that. Like all of my childhood, at least at school, yeah. And I played and stuff outside of school, but in school it was like I never really thought about this, because outside of school I was just totally myself and Peter Pan or whatever. But um, at school I was very very shy and withdrawn, and except for like with I would always have like one or two friends or that I could kind of hang out with. I was kind of a loner. But basically, my point is that making art as a kid and all the way through, ever since I can remember, it definitely hurt my social skills. And I didn't learn how to like listen very well. All I wanted to do in class was draw, and that's all I did. I've said this before, but the teacher actually came to my house and told my mom about how much I drew in class. And the stuff I was drawing was super dark, like severed heads and people like legs and getting killed and monsters and demons. They just didn't understand the 80s people. People didn't understand kids from the 80s. But no, but on the other side of that coin, art has, I wouldn't give it up for anything. And then I made a pretty much after I quit drinking, I I pretty much decided that it was my thing. There's nothing ever, none. I mean, of course, I love people. There's people that I love and shit. I sound so callous when I say this part, but it comes before everything. It comes before everything. And then it's I try to fight this feeling of desperation when it comes to making art, because I always feel like it could be my last piece that I'm working on. I have a feeling I'm gonna die like working on my art, or the piece that, like, if it is a nice piece of paper, actually, or one of these matting board that I'm drawing on, and it does slip off the table and the wind catches it, it could cut my head right off, and they're gonna find my little severed head, all shrunkled up in the corner, hiding like a little lost puppy. They're gonna be like, "Oh, come here, little buddy." And my head's just gonna like waddle over to them and jump in their lap and stuff. Look, it's gonna be, oh shit, it's gonna be a little awkward for a little while. That's all I'm trying to say. Hello, Pasa. My old friend. How doth the frontier look on this horizon? So I'm drawing all the way to the bottom here, right? But look over here. I gotta clean the lens, I think. Oh, shoot. I know what I'll do. I'm gonna clean the camera lens. I'm gonna mute it just for a second. I think that's gonna be the new Storie Grubb Draws theme song. Except the theme the real version is like 28 minutes long. A little too long for an opener. So I'm trying to shorten it down to like 23 or something like that. Welcome to the club. Oh, it's just my old nylon string. That when I do have some money, I'm gonna take it into. I don't want to trade it because it's like special to me, kind of. Because it is a really nice guitar. I got it for really cheap. But if I'm gonna have guitars and things, I want them to be electric as well. I have a few acoustic electrics. Even ukuleles I have, acoustic electrics. Little electric ukuleles are the best. And then you can use pedals with them too. I made an album a long time ago, and I used like distortion pedals and all sorts of stuff with them. It was actually really fun experimenting with all these different sounds for the ukes. I have like 7 or 8 different ukuleles, 7 guitars, a bass, 2 drum sets now. Slowly building an arsenal. I wonder if that's the comet that took out this dinosaur. Y'all hear about the new one that's coming? The new strange object from the other side of the universe? Even weirder than, what was it, Oumuamua? Some cool stuff happening. Things are getting weird. I don't think, but that's the thing, I don't know if I can because I don't have enough. I haven't monetized my channel, so I don't think I can do the super chats until I get monetized, correct? At least that's what I thought. Because I've sort of looked into it, but everything it just seems like I'm not eligible for that yet, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I have I have ambitions to monetize and then hire my friend to help me like do the channel if he would want to, of course. But that way we could get like some kind of a place to live or something because everything's just so expensive, you know. I would like to have like a studio to work out of, and even if it were like some kind of the corner of a warehouse or something, so I could build sets and do sketches and have people act in them. And even I've always flirted with the idea of having like my own sort of talk show and like puppets and everything too, but bands could come and play, even if it were just like acoustic versions of their songs or just whatever, you know. And I could like interview them while they're coming through town and stuff, and just um, have it be like a variety show more than anything. But as it is now, it's just very uh, it's it's a what would you call it? 'Cause it's not even a sample of what it would be like in the future right now. It's just a really analog version of what I want it to be. That way, if people are sending me money, it's actually worth it. I may be an artist, but I've got morals, and I have standards. If people are if people are like giving me money for my art, then I want that art to mean something. But that's the thing. I don't think people would buy it if it didn't. They wouldn't care. That's why I'm building a big compound for all of us to live in. And we could wear matching shoes and socks and wait for the comet that destroyed the dinosaurs to come. I like to call it Billy Bob. Billy Bob's coming, friends. It's your money. Use it when you want it. The shorts are amazing. Thank you. I can't believe I still fit into them. They're camouflage cargo pants shorts. And what happens when I wear them? I want to go fishing. I want to take my shirt off and go into McDonald's. I want to do all the. Oh wait, you're talking about. Oh, the edit. Okay, no, I thought you were talking about something else. Um, the short skits. Right, right. I haven't done a different character in a long time. The ones I've been doing recently are just so much easier. And I think it's helped my channel grow because it's helped focus a character. It's assigned a character to like Storie Grubb now, and it's like almost like a brand. Even though I look like a dork, that camera makes my nose look 3 feet long and shit. But I guess that's the thing. If I were to dress up like Waldo, I would make a good Waldo, I think. Even though Waldo's nose is very small and beautiful. It's okay, it doesn't matter. Whatever. Doesn't bother me. Oh, thanks. Yeah, the border. Sometimes I can't help it, like up here. Sort of accidentally went too far, but I think that can be kind of cool too. But if you were to frame it, for example, it would be kind of difficult. Whatever this was that dripped, it made it look weird. It's like all... I don't know. I don't know if I can draw over that. That's weird. What are you looking at? Don't look at us. I'm actually gonna have Sleepy Seahorse on my show here soon, hopefully. Trying to track him down. This dude is one of the best lyricists I've like. I don't know if anybody's ever listened to like Magnetic Fields or Leonard Cohen. I'm a big fan of lyrics, well done, well written universally charged, cosmically aligned lyrics, just plain old fashioned lyrics. And I tell you what, it's not just that he writes great lyrics and stuff, but they're great catchy songs. But the way that he puts the words, the way that he says them makes, I don't know, makes the songs like super interesting. The way he delivers them, and also he lived like a mile from me in Boise for like 10 years. He's actually been on a few of my albums, and I wish I could have been on some of his. Because now I love his music, and I had no idea how much until 5 years after I left Boise. Isn't that funny? Just being a dork. But now it's like one of my buddies from Boise. I'm like I like fanboy on. But he's also really funny. He's just a funny dude. Actually, we collaborated because he played a few live shows where everything was pre-recorded, and me and my band like backed him up, and we didn't even play. We weren't even plugged in. We were just playing like these weird instrument things that were like glowing and sparkling, and we were just acting like we were playing the music and just walking around the stage like jamming to everything with masks on, with like ski masks. It's like one of the best times of my life. That was the best summer of my life. That was 1932 in East Antarctica. Time works differently on the moon. Oops. There we go. Sorry, the camera angle was tilted.
Did somebody mention my name?
No, Terry, they didn't.
Oh, I could have sworn that, what's going on over here?
I'm just trying to make some art, Terry. I was just minding my own business. Couldn't sleep. Came out here. Just wide awake. Made some coffee. And,
Yeah, I didn't want your life story. Yeah, the life tale story. Yeah, no. I was just, what are you talking about?
oh, somebody mentioned that. Let's see. You can find a big fan of when they mentioned your name.
Out of what context?
I don't know, Terry. I'm so tired, Terry.
Yeah, I can tell. Okay, I'll come back later.
Thank God. Asshole.
What's that?
Nothing. Love you.
Love you too, little buddy.
That's my producer. Never seen his face. But he promised me chocolate milk. And by God, he has not delivered. Ever. Quite the opposite. I have not had a sip of chocolate milk in 17 and a half years. 17 years, 6 months, 2 weeks, 4 days, 3 hours and 26 minutes. And 37, 38, 39 seconds, and so on. It's been ridiculous, but who's counting, right? And then if you're doing borders like this, because I'm just going off of my brain, really, so I'm just hoping it lines up. It's gotta be better right there, though. I gotta fix that right there. Sort of fix that. Get as close as you can. But you can also just, like, every once in a while, just give yourself a little break. Like little openings. That way. Because sometimes I'll do this kind of stuff. And then keep it going. That kind of stuff. And then up here, you can draw like an arm or a leg or nothing. Yeah, I think it was coffee. I think coffee spilt there, like, but not, not a like a watered down coffee or something, and it just made it all spongy. It's weird. It looks like cauliflower. Sometimes something like that will keep me from finishing a drawing that I've been working on, like this, because I'll say to myself, what's the point internally? But then obviously it is what it is. This pen is running a little low on ink. Thanks, Brandon. It's kind of a challenge to kind of sit there and think of things, because I'll just sit there on the spot. Or, I mean, I'll just sit there and come up with things on the spot, and just sort of edit things together. Sometimes, but for some reason, they always do have a certain, another person who commented mentioned the cadence of them. I've definitely gotten better with the sort of like the jump cut editing stuff. And that's mostly just me poking fun at those types of videos. This kind of poppy stuff, the, popular stuff that I throw into my videos, or attempt to anyways, are meant to just poke fun at everything else, Because it's, once you watch a video without the jump cuts, you know, you can throw into them, even if they're like in these weird moments, because I like doing that too, like putting the jump cuts in like the most random spots. But um, it's, I can see why they're popular, because they kind of just grab your attention. It's kind of like in the radio world. I took a class when I was like 17. I started going to fucking college when I was 17. It was ridiculous. They couldn't. I wish I would have stayed. I didn't. I didn't. I couldn't hang. I just wanted to play rock and roll. So I like just escaped. And, anyways, but I took this radio DJ class. Where you learn how to man a booth, or woman a booth, or however you want to say it. and when you do recordings, like say for whatever you call them, like pre-recordings for the show, or commercials or something like that, you go through, when you're editing, you go through and you cut out all of the breaths. And so it's just like that's why in some of those advertisements and stuff that you see on TV, they're going so fast, and they're not taking breaks, because they go in and they cut out every single pause and all the breaths that you're taking too. And then eventually you mostly just learn to not breathe like loudly when you're DJing, which also helps if you're practicing to be a ninja, or a nun, or a ninja nun. There's plenty of those out there. I wish there was, and I wish I was one. A nun, a ninja nun. Just go out and save the world. One ninja monastery academy at a time. I don't know what I'm talking about. Thanks, Brandon. I appreciate that, man. I'm actually, what is it, 40 something away from 2,000 frickin' subscribers right now. I almost have 2,000 subscribers. That's crazy for me. That's like a million for me. And how long it took me to get there, and because that's another thing about this kind of stuff, you know, where I hopefully feel, or not hopefully feel, but I hope that people, you know, subscribe because they want to. Obviously they do, but I have no idea how much it helps and everything. Even liking the videos. I've been super grateful lately for that. Because those likes go a long way in the Al Gore rhythm. I was in the rhythm section of his band for a long time, for 30 years, in the Al Gore rhythm. We were a funky bunch. I shook that dude's hand at a backstage birthday party for Bryan Cranston on Broadway in New York in 2019. I shook Al Gore's freaking hand. I was just diplomatic. I'm not a fan of politicians, to be honest. But he came around there. He went through this entire party of like actors backstage after this Broadway show starring Bryan Cranston, and he showed up before Bryan because Bryan was in his room, and he like went to literally everybody in the room and shook their hand. Everybody, like every single person. And he had a big ass hand. I swear to God, those people are reptiles. Big ass, like it was like I was shaking hands with like a baseball mitt. And they were super soft. His hands were super soft. And I cried myself to sleep that night. At the end. And I met Bryan Cranston. Got to sing happy birthday to him. I just happened to be in. We happened to get tickets for that show. My friend Luke knew one of the guys backstage doing the live editing, because my buddy Luke is a editor and film kind of geek, and he knows all these people. This is back in New York, obviously, and the guy, he knew the guy that did the backstage stuff, so he got us after the show. We went backstage, and we were on the set. We were able to walk out on the stage where they had just done the show like 40 minutes beforehand, and god dang, it was a trip. And that was already cool enough. We were just walking around the set, like looking at how technical it was and everything too. It was the show Network, it was called. Bryan Cranston did it for a while on Broadway. Network. It was really, really, really good. It was a really cool show. And then the dude was like, "So we're having a surprise birthday party for Bryan Cranston Bryan downstairs. Do you guys want to come?" And we're like, "Fuck yeah, dude! What?" And so we followed him down and to these stairs that went down into like a basement below us, below the stage, and like the whole cast was down there, and like there was like people that I saw and like recognized from like movies that I've grown up watching and stuff, and then all these new actors and then Broadway actors and just the theater people, and it was just so wild. And then Al Gore walked in and shook everybody's hand, and then right after that Bryan came out from his dressing room, and then everybody started singing happy birthday, and he was all humble, and you know he was all having a good time. And then eventually me and my friends got to meet him and talk to him for a little bit. He was pretty chill. Tony Gladwin was in it too, the dude who was in Ghost with Patrick Swayze. He was his buddy, the guy that turns evil. And then there was he was also in The Sixth Day, I think. He's been in a bunch of like sci-fi movies too. I like him. Tony Gladwin. This song is pretty chill too. He plays the trumpet, my buddy Joey. Hey, Phobia. Someone say Anika Nan. Nanja. See, I knew there was something in there. The Italians would call it Nanja. The stage songs have got me through some kind of like dark moments lately, last year. It's just so funny. He articulates what I'm feeling in my brain so much. And in the email he responded to, he said I was going through some dark stuff, and he was kind of telling me stuff that I already knew because we're like old, like he was telling me like I was some kind of like reporter or something. I went through these changes and I would just sit down and write the songs and move on to another one. Like, yeah, I know. That's what you do. But I've really focused in on his like lyrics over the past year. The past 6 months especially. Quality stuff. I have so many friends that I'm just amazed that aren't in I don't know, getting the credit they deserve. Brilliant people I've met in my life. I've been lucky to have met a few brilliant people. I meet brilliant people every day. You meet dumbasses, and then you meet brilliant people. Let's see here. I like drawing the stars or whatever, these little circles right next to each other like that. It reminds me of bubbles. I was thinking about it. I was wondering if it's from being inspired as a kid, you know, peeing into the toilet, how it creates the bubbles. Or it could just be like little star clusters. I still have about, what is it, 1,000 more watch time hours to go before I'm eligible to monetize my channel. It's a lot of hours, but the little shorts I've been doing, and I think because they've been more consistent and they're just quicker and easier to do, they've been getting better numbers. And I hate talking about this stuff because but it is interesting. It's like the, you know, behind the curtain kind of stuff. And like the wizard. Because YouTube has like, it tells me all the analytics, and you'll hear channels talking about it sometimes where they'll be saying, 28% of you don't subscribe when you come, because we get all the analytics and all that. And you guys, if you have a channel too, yeah, I'm sure you have the same thing. Um, like YouTube Studio and stuff. I find it all like really fascinating. And it is interesting because I'll flip around from live, Um, I don't watch a lot of live stuff, but I'll just go through sometimes, and just because I'm curious. And it's seriously, it's weird because there'll be like somebody just sitting there talking in their van about, politics or their children's school or something like that, and there's like 700 people watching, and I'm like, what the fuck is this person doing? Like, you know, but it's also maybe out of context. But then, I'm curious about that stuff, and there's a part of me that's competitive and wants to be kind of sassy about it, where it's like I do all this stuff and I get, I'm happy to get, 15 people watching me, but um, the thing I always like have to remember too is that I don't, I try not to ever just talk about things for the sake of like the things, the news of the day kind of stuff. I don't care. It's all the same. We're all gonna die. It's true. So I got bigger fish to fry. I don't want to talk about everything else that everybody else is talking about. It's like when you're trying to find something to watch on YouTube or just looking around and you just see the same clip in all these different videos of the people. Like, cause I follow a lot of channels that critique, not, review movies and stuff like that. I watch Drinker, the drink. What's his name? I can't think of the names right now. But there's these dudes that just kind of like make fun of all these different movies that are coming out and like sort of like the wokeness of them. And I watch everything, like I watch that kind of stuff until it gets super annoying because I just hate how everybody just has to label everything and just do that. But they make funny points sometimes about these movies that are coming out these days. Whether or not I agree with their politics or not, they make funny jokes about them and kind of point out the same things that I dislike in modern media. And because the other side of the coin is like all these people that are just like, no matter what Disney puts out, it's brilliant, it's great, it's so anything that this corporation puts out, anything this corporation spits out or shits out, I hate that kind of stuff. Like, tell me what you really think, Um, I appreciate those that can actually criticize stuff without, because you can criticize, or break down movies in such a way, even if you love the freaking movie. Yeah, I love movies, but I still will pick them apart and like cinema sins kind of stuff. You just call, it's just you're having fun with it because once the media is out into the world, anyways, they always say that a song or a piece of art is out in the world. It's not yours anymore. Let it go. Okay, well then let those movies go and let us critique the hell out of them without you calling us like racist Nazis or something. Because sometimes it is just like ridiculous what they do with stuff, and they just put in like a token character just to appease like some kind of. Most people don't give a shit about that kind of stuff, like being represented in movies or just write new movies. Everybody should. Why are they doing all these stupid remakes? Hot take. It's like I don't care if you like replace characters like sex or skin color or anything like that. I don't care about that. Just make good stories and I'll watch it. Like write and make good film. You know that's how it is. But I hate when corporations pander to people and then people soak it up like Disney's the best. Oh my god. Oh, I'm a Disney person. It's like you realize that's a corporation. Disney. It's not like you people. If you want to see behind the curtain, just look a little bit deeper than I heart Disney. It's like go over there and enjoy yourself. Take your kids to Disneyland, but don't tell me it's something that it's not. Just like with politics, just like with everything else that everybody has to get behind, no matter how gross it is. Well, I'm on this side of the lawn. So I have to follow this asshole. I'm on this side, so I have to follow this asshole. Okay. Well, you ever realize we're just following a bunch of assholes? Yeah, doesn't it seem like we're just following a bunch of assholes? Yeah, that don't give a shit about us? Yeah, no, you're right. Huh. Yeah, they don't give a shit about us. My asshole doesn't give a shit about us, and your asshole doesn't give a shit about you. Yeah. Let's follow them anyways. Yeah, until the end of time. Yeah, like billboards, like walking billboards. I'm all over the place, I'm sorry. I'd say be yourself. Be unique. And don't follow anybody but yourself, but your own heart. Follow your goddamn heart. Did I do too? Oh, yes, buddy. Yes, oh, yes. Oh, yes, I doodled in school. I was just saying earlier that the teacher, when I was in the 3rd grade, this teacher came to my house to talk to my mom about how I didn't, man, that's crazy. I did the 3rd grade. Yeah, I did the whole 3rd grade year in Davis and 4th grade before I moved to Northern California. But yeah, I used to, when you would get, the papers in class, the worksheets or whatever, I wouldn't even do the work. I would just sit there and just draw in the columns and not even do the work. It was kind of like it was pretty funny almost, if it wasn't, because I wasn't learning. All I wanted to do was draw and just, I knew exactly what I wanted to do ever since I was like in the 2nd grade, And then by the time the 4th grade came, like the next year, because I moved to Davis at the last 2 weeks of my 2nd grade year, and then finished off that, the last 2 weeks of school at this new school. I had the option just to not go, but I was like, I want to go make some friends, which was, I was super social when I was very young. But then by the time 4th grade came around, I created a comic book, a character called Captain Z. And then by the time I was in the 5th grade, I was making my own comic books. Like full on 25, 28 page comic books, and every page filled. I'm not trying to, sound like a badass, but I was pretty humble. I was a pretty humble little badass. And that was it. From then on, all I did was draw. And I drew comic books until I was a senior in high school. Among other things, obviously, and then I started playing guitar at 15, which was in 1995. And like, what a time to be 15. What a perfect year. Because the rest of the 90s were such a trip. And believe me, kiddos, it goes really, really, really fast. So make good choices while you can, and don't let your friends down. But always stay true to who you believe that you are inside, Make good choices. Help people as much as you can. Don't do stupid shit. Me personally, I like robbing. I'm a robber. I'm a thief. I'm a criminal. It's how I do. But you do you. I still haven't learned my lesson after all these years. I'm living in somebody's house that I'm not even supposed to be living in. They're on vacation, and I took over their house. I'm pretty hardcore. But that's the thing with me. This is how I make good art. I'm a criminal artist. I'm a guerrilla artist, if you will. I can't let them know my location or what I look like. See, this is where it gets really boring. When you're just adding darkness. I can do this maybe. Some kind of weird foot. Oops. There we go. A lot of Sims, I've also noticed it has to be a lot of bots too, unless there's 20 people talking and 1,200 people lurking. Yeah. Well, and also a lot of the time, I think people, it's simple stuff too. Like if it's a pretty person, if it's a good looking person, people stop. Or if there's some kind of, I feel like then you go to some people's channels and they're like spinning plates and, on a unicycle with a tutu on and so, because you just gotta put on or they're just shouting about politics or some crap like that. And it, that would be easy to do, I think, and start because I could be super, what do you call it, like divisive, and I think that would boost my channel too. And I'm sure maybe that's not their intention, but I think a lot of people just do that kind of the divisiveness just to do it, just to rile people up and get people to their channel. But I guess I'm a little bit different. Show us my. I have to show you my feet every episode. That's the only way that you can tell it's actually me because of that birthmark in the shape of Idaho. I don't. It's like right next to my big toe. It's like the Idaho toe. Everybody makes fun of it. Turn around. Oh my god. Took the words right out of my. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, there's definitely things I could do, to be more divisive. I mean, I don't even talk like this in real life. I talk like this in real life. This is my real voice. And so, but when you're out there in the real world, people just don't even look at you like you're a person. Like they think, "Oh shit, is that a Muppet?" And I say, "No, it's just how I talk." Because people expect a different voice to come out of me when I'm talking, but this is my I love my voice. Except for when I cry, it gets really ugly. There we go. Now I can finally just do this and be done with it. See, now I'm going to the bottom of this intentionally. That sounded exactly how I wanted it to sound, by the way. When in doubt, Adeline. I've always loved that name, Adeline. What's your name, darling? Clementine? What's your middle name? Adeline. What's your last name? Come again? What's your last name? Come again. Oh. Clementine, Adeline, come again? Me come again. What? Me come again? Yeah, me come again. What? You just said me come again. You added another syllable. Don't come out with me with that gibberish, girl. Come back. Doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. This song reminds me a lot of a Magnetic Fields song. I don't know why I have to say that kind of stuff out loud as if anybody cares. I'm always surprised by the microphones on these phones and stuff that we have nowadays. I can't imagine, like, when I got my first smartphone, I guess, in 2013. So I've had smartphones for a little over 10 years. It's not very long. And how fast everything just changes. Just in the last 10 years alone. With like cars and stuff, like the smart cars and all this kind of stuff. I don't even know if that's what they are. Like those What are they called? The Tesla cars or whatever? I don't even care. I don't even know. I'm always late to the game on that kind of stuff. It's like, nope, I don't want to use the MP3, thank you very much. I've heard that they're good, but I prefer my 8-track. My portable 8-track. With mega headphones system built in with the subwoofer coming out in the arse. That's what I call a subwoofer. Trying to draw around the phone is kind of difficult. That's what the problem I always run into. I don't know if I'm just gonna be able to go back to sleep after this. It's like almost 2 in the morning. I have to sleep, man. God. I'm just wide awake. It's ridiculous. Abigail likes it because she can just come out in the garage and hang out with me. And I finished that mural yesterday or the day before. One of the owners for the business that I was working on was in a motorcycle accident. He almost freaking died. He had a collapsed lung and everything. He slid off the road at night, and some passerby, pun intended, came and found him. But had that person not seen it happen, nobody would have known that he like went off the side of the road and the bike landed on him and stuff. All sorts of bad stuff. But he's doing better. He got airlifted out of there and everything. It's scary. You gotta be careful out there. Trust no one. I mean, sorry, that was the CIA in me talking. Once you're in the CIA, you're never out. You're never out. You're blooded in. Bled in. Did you bleed him in? Yes, I bled him in. The front door. Hello, vegan. No rest for the. Hold on a second. I really wish I had a coffee pot out here, but I don't. Surprised to see you. Yeah. Let's see. Motorcycles are probably the worst investment you can make. Everyone I know who's owned a motorcycle has. It's kind of true. You know, I've known a few people just in the last few years that have gotten into really bad accidents. I think sometimes it's just a lot of the times, it's people aren't looking where they're going or that kind of stuff, and they will hit them. But a lot of it's just people being careless to a degree. I see people on the freeway all the time that are just doing the craziest stuff on motorcycles, that weaving in and out of traffic like I mean, when you're on the bike, you're confident, and I get it, but people are unpredictable, and some people are pissed off that motorcycles do that, and they'll just like cut them off. And it's one thing to go kind of slow and carefully through that, but people like haul ass through traffic, and I've been there where I've been trying to get around somebody, and then all of a sudden there's a fucking motorcycle between me and the car next to me. I'm trying to take a left or something, or get into in the passing lane. And that would cripple me if I fucking killed somebody like that, like Jesus. And it's just so unavoidable. It's like, if you want to act like an idiot, go out where there's no traffic. I mean, don't go on a freeway where people are just wholly unpredictable and don't even use their blinkers most of the time when they're switching lanes, or they just shoot right on over, I just don't ever want anybody to get hurt is all. Same with bad drivers. It's like, just be better. Just slow down. It's always the same like little riff. But it's hard not to play that kind of stuff on the on that kind of guitar. On my right hand, my fingernails are kind of a little bit more. I let them grow out a little bit more too, and I've been using them to pluck. I've never really been a plucker before. A good one, anyways. I can pluck a little bit. I used to drop my pick so much as a kid. I just started growing my index finger out to use it as a pick. It's kind of gross. I dropped my pick so much, I turned my fingernail into a pick. And if you burn it, it'll make you feel sick. 'Cause it smells like hair. Burning hair. If you burn your fingernails, it smells like burning hair. And then if you light your fingernails on fire, liar, liar, cat's pants on fire. I wrote a song about it and everything. Oh yeah, that's right. Music. Some kind of wing, some kind of arm, a xenomorph in there somewhere. I think I might actually go to a guitar, take my nylon and a nylon string classical guitar and like, geez, maybe even like a ukulele or two. I want to get a nice acoustic electric guitar, a really nice one. Maybe they would trade, do some kind of trade. Oh, I know that if I started riding bikes, I would love it too. I've been on a few bikes, but yeah, I would just try to be. And I'm not saying anything against people that ride bikes. I just want everybody to be safe. I see a lot of people doing stupid shit out there. If you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough. And all I'm saying is, if you're gonna do stupid shit, just do it where you know you're not gonna hurt other people, or you know, because people are gonna do stupid shit no matter what. Just there's a time and a place for everything, you know. Not on a freeway where like the car next to you has a carload of kids, you know, in it or something, and you're causing people to panic, and this goes for everyday drivers as well. People drive like maniacs. It's like Mad Max out there every time I get on the freeway where I live. People drive. There's people that do the craziest stuff I've ever seen drivers do down here, and it's daily. I can't go from here to go see my friend Matt in San Luis, which is 26 miles away, without seeing somebody just going weaving in and out, not using their signals, going like 99 on the freeway, like it's the autobahn. And sometimes I'm like, damn, dude, maybe their kid's in the back seat and he has like a head wound or something, and they're going to the hospital. Or something like that, because why else would this person be driving like that? You have to like imagine they're like having some kind of episode. But there's like one thing that I hate more than anything, and it's tailgaters. I, I, it's like this thing I'm trying to figure out in my genetic makeup is because I will try, I will fight somebody if they're tailgating me, because it's so stupid to do that to other drivers. It makes you nervous. If you put on the brakes, they're right there, and then like they accuse you of brake checking them and stuff. Kind of, I mean, it just escalates. But like, why even tailgate somebody? Like it's just it's so. And here it's. I wish that I had cameras on my car because of some of the people that tailgate you, and no matter how fast you go, they just ride your ass. Like you just shot their fucking dog or something. And maybe I did, but still, I don't deserve that kind of treatment. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'll be totally fine and be able to handle people cutting me off and doing stupid stuff all day long. But the second somebody gets behind me and just starts riding my bumper, I lose my mind and I start screaming. It's like this horrible thing that I have in me that I just can't stop from happening. And it's dangerous sometimes because then I want to like catch up to them and ride their butt, which is so stupid. So that's one thing I'm going to focus on now when I drive is just to stay in the right lane, go slow, and don't just. I put my little mirror up sometimes in my car just so I can't see the people behind me, so I'm not so distracted. Because you try to put yourself in somebody's shoes and say like, why would they do this? Why would they do that? Especially when you're just going to catch up to them up there at the light anyways. But and I'm not even going slow. I'm going 5 over the speed limit, and they're still doing that. I want to talk about this some more. I really want to break this down, this whole topic. It's going to take us a few days, but we can get through it, all of us, together. Later, phobia. You stupid shit in places. Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's like I've actually I jumped out of an airplane when I was 23. Um, I wouldn't jump out of an airplane over Portland, Oregon, for example. But I would do it in Eugene, where there's just endless countryside. You know what I mean? Uh, that's maybe a bad analogy, but it's the only thing I can come up with on the spot. Because I'm all for doing stupid shit. But just be smart about it. And if you do get caught, just accept the consequences too. Whether it's a broken back or prison or jail time or something. Or a ticket, just a simple ticket. I think I've already mentioned this, but in a few weeks I'm gonna take a train to and fro Portland. Go see a few friends and stay in Portland for a week. I'm super excited. I've been gone about a year and a half. It'll be cool. And I'm gonna be staying with my old roommates in this really awesome part of town. And I had a little coffee friend date yesterday with somebody, and then they do an open mic in San Luis Obispo, and they're doing one on the 4th, and then I might go down and play a few songs. I think that would be fun. Plus, the person I hung out with was really cool. Wouldn't mind seeing them again. It's never been so easy just to talk to somebody in all my life. Jeez. Our first time hanging out. Went to the ocean. These days it's hard to tell how people are gonna be and what they're gonna think of you, especially if you're like, if you don't follow the in crowd. Because a lot of people follow the in crowd and they don't even know it. And of course I do to a certain degree, but there's certain things that I can see right through. Which is kind of a blessing and a curse, because then you meet people that you think are really cool, and you're like, and then they start saying something, you know, you have a few conversations, and then you bring up like some kind of political stance or something, and you're like, oh shit, oh god, you're one of those people. Oh no. I just got this rebellious streak in me, some punk rock tendencies. I'm gonna look into the monetizing thing or the super chat stuff, because I've heard that recently too from other people saying that I should do that, but I think I have to wait until my channel's monetized to do that. I wish I knew somebody else that maybe Joel could help me talk. Like, I haven't seen Joel on this channel in a long time. He's really busy doing cool shit. I'd ask him. I could just ask him through Instagram. Yeah. He's doing some really cool stuff. I like his videos too. They're really professional. I feel like I can't slow down long enough to even like write a script, you know, or something for most of my shorts. I'll just write down like 1 or 2 words on a piece of paper and then just go off of those, and just, because I feel like the funny, for me anyways, the fun in my shorts and things come, and it's maybe different from like skits and things, because I usually do have a game plan for those more, where I play multiple characters or something like that. But it's the ones I've been doing lately are fun just because I can kind of go off the cuff, and some of the funniest stuff happens when you're just forced to make stuff up. I want to go more gibberish style, you know, just mumbling and just doing stupid things about art. But I also want to encourage people to make art, so I don't want to like confuse people either. But I always want the bottom line is I want to make people laugh, and I want them to think about art. And hopefully I accomplish some of that every once in a while. think I hear like a raccoon outside or something. This pen had a lot of ink in it left. Sweet. The doors way too much. I had my moment with the doors, but I definitely sort of grew out of them over the years. There's one song that gets me going though, and it's Peace Frog. I freaking love that song. Morrison Hotel's pretty good. Having like a lot of pain in my neck right now. Jeez. Sucks when you can't stop thinking about somebody though. And you have a feeling that they're not thinking about you. That's like the worst. Story of my life though. But it's also fun sort of just having a crush on somebody. It makes me feel young. I gotta fill this area in with darkness. I want to kind of wrap this drawing up so I can move on to other stuff. Let's see, I could just draw something there too. And I crush easily too. When I meet people that are like just decent people, I'm like, oh my god, I love you. I've always, people always talk about having types or having, you know, things like but even like opposites attract, that kind of stuff. It doesn't matter. You could come from the moon, and I would still find a way to, oh, there's something about that person from the moon, and they're just like a blank slate. What do you like about them? I don't know, but there is something, and I will find it. But I think a lot of it is just thinking that a person is a certain way right off the bat. I've never been able to control like that kind of part of me. I just like, I fall in love kind of easily too, or whatever that means. Because I don't know if it's love, it's more of an infatuation maybe. But probably stems from just not being able to be social as a kid, being petrified of girls. That's a funny way of. That's a funny homage. But why 29? Because you're 29 years old, dolt. Oh, I thought it was because I was born in 1929. Oh, you were? No, 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 no. I mean, no, I wasn't. Because I can write more. No, 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 no. I'm going to write one for every year you're born. Wait, what year is it again? Sometimes I think I've said this before on my channel, but when you're doing a black outline, or a black background, I mean, and trying to fill it in. I think that's initially why I started adding stars and things to my drawings like 20 years ago, because it you don't have to fill in so much space. Space. It's funny because it is supposed to be sort of like space. But I used to. You can also just do other little designs like little spirals. And then just having that kind of come out this way. That was not all of the songs. Son of a gun. I guess that's it. No more music for the rest of our lives. No more music. No more music. Let's see what else. Can't play that. Can't play that. That's not gonna work. A little nebula here. A little cosmic swirl there. Pyrog. Is that like a heating element? Like a fire pen? A hot pen that you burn into, where you can burn designs into stuff? Like skin and wood? Because if the answer is yes, then I have done that. Mostly with skin. Without people's permission. On the bus. Long story. Well, not really. I burned people's skin on the flesh with the fire tool. It was awesome. That's funny that that's the name for it. Pyrography. It's pyrography. Oh, sorry, bro. It's okay, bro. I never have, but when I was a kid, I used to use magnifying glasses. Or, yeah, magnifying things. My stepdad used to burn names and stuff into wood. He would carve things and then burn his name into them. And so as kids, we used to use magnifying glasses for that kind of stuff. Start fires and stuff. But yeah, not the pen. I would like to though. When it gets to this point, it is like watching grass grow. I like Posca too, but yeah, they can be a tad bit unpredictable as well when you're working on something and then all of a sudden the ink just like bursts out of them. It's the freaking worst thing ever, especially if obviously if you're not prepared. I've had to improvise mistakes many times because of those pens. You gotta just pretty much know that's gonna happen at least once and be ready for it. I always have like a piece of paper or a tablet or something right next to me to test the pen if I'm gonna like push in, like tip in, to get more paint. If I'm working on something fairly critical. Today's Thursday. Heading towards the end of the year now. They certainly go by a lot faster than they used to, even if you're doing nothing. You're like, wait a second, it's almost September? Weren't we just in February? What the heck? What happened to March? I know I like that feeling too when it is brisk in the mornings because it reminds me of being a kid and having to go to school at that hour. And you know, on the first days of school, when you're not used to it, when those first days of school are still kind of a little awkward and scary too, but there's just something about that part of the morning and this time of the year that, especially when it works into like starts working into October and everything starts changing again, which is by far my favorite time of the year. But I've also grown quite fond of spring and warmer weather over the years, but not this like over 100-degree crap where I can't even think because it's so hot, Which is another thing too, just because it dries everything out, and then with all the fires and stuff, it's just scary. But with autumn coming, I'm looking forward to it. It's interesting too, looking forward to things again. Life. Look forward to it. But not too far. Because you want to live in the moment. Having like really bad neck pain, so I have to take breaks every so often. It's like the way I'm sitting or something, I don't know. No doubt, bro. The weather fucking sucks. I freaking hate the weather, man. And the weather. I lived in Portland for a long time, so I'm I'm pretty. There's just certain kinds of weather that I don't appreciate, but it's one of those things too where it's like, all right, just gotta grin and bear it until it's done, kind of stuff, you know. Because living up there, it was ridiculous. You know, it'd be pouring rain, and then the next minute it's just like a beautiful sunny day. You know, and you brought a trench coat with you, like halfway across town. Now you got to carry that stupid ass thing all the way home. Which is only if you're walking, because if you know Portland, you can get around town easily because the transit system is so good. My aunt has a big old, huge, um, what do you call them? Like a raised garden sort of thing, and it doesn't have anything in it. I was thinking about planting some pumpkins in it. It's about time Halloween comes, or we have pumpkins, a little, even if they're little, but we have some pumpkins to carve or something. I think that'd be cool to grow pumpkins because they just grow like crazy once they start going. Gourds, they're cool to watch grow as well. Their gourds are kind of humanoid. At least at least when they're fetuses, when they're the size of a little fetus, they're coiled up like little humans. Then they grow to be a beautiful, beautiful gourd. Gorgeous, gorgeous little gourds. Hmm. Hello, OJ. Wait, that one? Yes, that one. Oh, yeah. Um, tattoos. Let's see. Yeah, I sort of do. Or people say that would make a great tattoo, or yeah. It's mainly I just get asked if I ever do tattoos or something like that. I actually kind of think that would be a cool thing to get into because I can actually draw things pretty good when I look at them, you know? Or if like somebody had a design, all you do, not all the time, obviously. I know tattooing is a lot more, there's a lot more to it, but you know, when you make those, they make those little, you get the design down and then they transfer the lines onto your skin and they do like that rough design of it, the stencil almost sort of thing, you know? Because I always worry about like trying to do something freehand and then ruining it or making a mistake, you know? But gosh, maybe I should try to do that because I just feel like people's requests would get kind of out of hand. Can you draw my great grandfather arm wrestling my grandfather in front of my dad when he was 7 years old with his pet snake Reggie in the cockpit of a plane with Indiana Jones hanging off the back? Yeah, I'll get right on that. Those are the kind of requests that I get. Or people will see it's kind of funny, and I'm poking fun at people. I'm not. It doesn't. It's just kind of comical sometimes the requests for like even commissions for drawings. Somebody sees this kind of stuff that I'm doing, you know, and they're like, "Whoa, that's cool. Can you do me a drawing?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Like, you know, thinking they're gonna ask me just to do something like this. Can you do Bruce Lee with like nunchucks and angel wings? It's like what? What? No. What? If I tried to draw Bruce Lee, it would look like I was doing a caricature of a Chinese person, or he was American, but he was Chinese American, and it might be, I would worry that I would offend people, including myself. I would look at it and I would want to puke because I'm not good at drawing people so good that it's like, oh, that's yep, that's Bruce Lee. Now, if it's Steven Seagal, I can Steven Seagal just fine. Um, I can draw the the emperor of the third Chinese dynasty, oddly enough, just fine. Um, and his chairman, uh, just fine. And the Treasury Department's entire family portrait, just fine. And I can pretty much draw anything just fine. But don't ask me to draw Bruce Lee. Can't do it. Won't do it. And I love Bruce Lee. I love that mother effer. Think of the dollar. I know. It would be. But then also, you know, I guess this might be a good time to even like do that because I actually don't have a job right now. And that would probably be, hey, I went offline for a second. I'm sorry. Thanks, OJ. Yes, I agree with the boundaries thing, especially in the tattoo world, you know. I'm sure I would get requests for stuff that was a little outside the realm of what I'm willing to do, but for the most part, yeah, I'm sure people are pretty reasonable. Someone was telling me that I could even just sell my designs to certain places because a lot of tattoo artists don't even have time to do original art as much as they'd like to because they're just so busy with tats, with the tattoo tats, you know. Because it would also be really interesting and borderline difficult to like draw directly onto people. I think it would take a lot of getting used to. I'd have to practice on a lot of pigs. I have people that have done it though, you know. I have people. I have friends who have done it. I have people who have done that. I no, I have like some friends who have started tatting. And if you get good, you can like travel the world and go to like conventions and stuff. I think that would be a lot of fun. But it's just I have my hands in too many pots, it feels like sometimes. Too many cookie jars. I'm just trying to sort of gain traction in one of these different ways. That way I can sort of work my way out of poverty in a way. Because right now I can't even afford my own place to live. It's just even a studio apartment where I live, they're like 1,300. They start at like $1,400 a month. It's just how does and every job in the area pays like 15 bucks an hour, 17 bucks an hour. You can't even afford a studio apartment on that, even if it's full time. And it's I don't understand how people are supposed to even follow their dreams or that kind of stuff, let alone just make ends meet with these kinds of same old crap. I'm sorry, just same old crap. And I'm luckier than most people, I'm luckier than a lot of people. It just sucks that we can't come together and like at least make sure our basic needs are met, and that healthcare is affordable, and that renting places and finding a future for our children isn't like just a pipe dream. I don't even have kids, and I think about the children because I was a kid once. I want kids to grow up having a clean and pleasant place to live, and good music to listen to, and good art, good role models. People that said, "Hell no, this isn't how it's supposed to be." I want kids to know that there's still people out there that give a shit. I don't know how I'm gonna do that or how I would ever do that, but I think you start with art. That's how you suck them in. That's what always sucked me in as a kid. From the very get-go, music was just the most wondrous thing that I could ever do. I just always had music in my brain. Always was listening to something. Always was talking about it. Always wanted to make music. Always wanted to make music. I would just make up songs all the time before I could ever even play instruments. Always just in my head. Music. The rhythm of the universe. It courses through us at all the time. You can tap into it. Sink our fangs into the neck of music. Um, what age did I discover? I've been drawing since I can remember, so it wasn't really a discovery. It was just that a little bit earlier I was talking about that. I think around the second grade was when I sort of started realizing that I was different from the other kids when it came to drawing, because other kids would just do it here and there, or just during like the art part of class, where it's like, okay, let's do arts and crafts or something. But I was just doing it all day, you know. And I think that's when I took notice, because the teachers took notice and would talk to my mom about how I was how distracted I was in class with it. and how I wouldn't do my work. I would just draw doodles on the worksheets and stuff, and in the books, um, and I think too at an early age I was pretty good at it. I realized I was somewhat good at it at least, and the other kids took notice too, and um, so it was a way for me to sort of make friends or to, because I was kind of shy usually, and I was kind of a dork. I wasn't like one of the cool kids ever, so it was my way of being cool or feeling like, oh, this is my thing. I have a thing. And so naturally, there's many different reasons why I kept making art. But the initial reasons were mainly also because it runs in my family. My dad's side of the family, they always were doodling. There's always little drawings everywhere of horses and cowboys and all sorts of all sorts of stuff. My grandpa used to draw the weirdest things on like little post-it notes, and so I grew up seeing all these weird little doodles all over the place, and I would try to draw them and do my own doodles, and I'd show them to my grandpa, and he would like critique them, or he'd compliment them. But he was a really good artist. But yeah, thanks for the nice words. I can't take all the credit. That's the thing, you know. Because it is like tapping into the zone, or like the creative vein frequency. Everybody has the ability to tap into the zone. It sounds silly like that, but it's true. That's how it feels, anyways. And whether you're 2 beers down and you're playing a game of pool, and all of a sudden you just start playing the best game of pool in your life, you know, or like playing football or anything really. It's I feel there's this sort of dissociation that sort of happens when you tap into it and you let go. You let go of a lot of things, and you can just be that thing that you're trying to be, and you allow yourself to be taken over by it. And I think that frequency that we all hear, that we can all like kind of, if when we need it, it's always there kind of thing. But some of us can tap into it regularly. A lot of people do it out of panic or even just out of necessity sometimes. um, some of us can just use it without thinking about it, just like blinking, you know. I'm not saying that I can do that. I'm just saying that I know what the zone is. And it is about focus and all that stuff too, but it's hard because I have such a scattered brain. But my brain is just all over the place, which makes it easy to focus on, or to realize when I'm in the zone when it happens, because I'm like, oh, whoa, I'm concentrating on something. I'm focusing. And it feels good. But I'd like to thank the Academy, uh, my sensei, my art teacher back in high school. I'm just kidding. I don't want to draw over these things. Oh, I guess I can. Feels weird. This is definitely the longest I've ever gone live before. Thanks, OJ. I just don't. I don't really think about it too much, especially when I'm doing this kind of stuff. I just sort of. I just try to lay things down in a way that looks somewhat balanced. There's a lot of balancing going on behind the scenes. I think knowing when to stop is the important thing. No matter what you add, it's knowing when to stop. And then once it's all together, it'll serve different. It serves different sort of textural purposes, right? So in my head too, these bubbles, because they're clustered, especially, they look like bubbles. I think I just call them bubbles, but circles or whatever you want to call them, but they could also be stars, And underwater, you'll see things just like you'll see in the universe that are. It just looks like an ocean. And there's things out in the cosmos that look like they belong at the bottom of the ocean. But I always like to I do this kind of stuff a lot in my drawings if I'm doing a black background. Sort of is like what do you call it? Like a trademark sort of thing. It's something I've been doing since I was like 20 in my art. But at the same time, it's a textural thing. I like the texture of it. I don't think that's the right word for it, but it's cool once it's all put together. But this kind of part of the process is, like I've said before, just like watching grass grow. It's kind of boring. But it's got to be done. And I like there to be kind of like a subterranean element to my pieces because it also represents this consciousness, subconscious, and the abyss that I talk about so much. Cover up the fungus. I kind of found I drew a mushroom right there with one of the fungus. I don't know what I want to do with this thing. That's a lot of fungus. Oh, I was just talking about that spaceship. It's it's similar to a Muamua. I think it's bigger, and the other intergalactic objects that have been coming and going or whatever, we've only caught them on as they're leaving, our solar system or the neighborhood, and so we couldn't study them as much as we wanted. But now this one, it's better because we know it's coming, so we get to study the entire, trajectory of it and whatever. My cat just came over and just gave me a little hug. Oh my goodness. um, but yeah, I mean, I have my own theories on what's going on there. But yeah, they're gonna know more. It's gonna come by our neck of the woods in December, and I'm sure they'll, even if it was something super anomalous, they would just say, "Nope, just a rock." Even though they don't act like comets and they don't act like anything, they're completely, even in Muamua, there's so many weird things that was going on with it. Even how it was shaped, was just odd. Um, but there's a lot of anomalous stuff with this new one. That they just don't understand. It doesn't even act like a comet or anything like that, or just like a regular, like a piece of space debris or something like that. It's just acting weird, and it's coming right for us. Not like it's gonna hit Earth or anything, but it's close enough that if it were something that were intelligently kind of controlled, that we would it would be able to observe us and figure us out a little bit more because it'd be that close too. So yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff with it. No, I don't remember that. They will say it's an invasion to keep you occupied. I wouldn't be surprised though. There for years, ever since like the 60s and 70s, there was like a, um, you know, operation. I forget the name of it, but an operation to tell people that there was an alien invasion to distract us from something. It's been part of like a plan for a long time to have a false flag kind of situation with them, and say that it's like alien technology when it's actually our technology, which is actually a terrifying prospect. I was bringing this kind of stuff up the other like a few weeks ago, and somebody that used to watch, he hasn't watched since that night too, that he hasn't commented or anything, but he just started going off on how he's like, you believe in that stuff? I'm like, what are you talking about? There's more evidence for UFOs and UAPs now than there is against it. I'm sorry, but you have to prove that it's not real now, motherfucker. Like, that's ridiculous to think that there's like civilizations out there that couldn't come here, or that they didn't come here millions of years ago and are living inside the frickin' earth. It's not like such a far-fetched thing to believe anymore. Like, once you just do a little bit of digging into this stuff, and that the government believes in them, the CIA believes in them, the FBI believes in them, so why don't you? Airline pilots see them all the time. Jet fighters, these pilots see them all the time. People with impeccable credentials that you expect to save your life in case of emergency see them on a daily frickin' basis, especially in the on the water in the ocean. They see them all the time. These people go in front of Congress and testify under oath about this stuff, what they've seen, and they share photos and data and all sorts of stuff. It's not just like, yeah, it's a fuzzy picture of somebody playing frisbee in their backyard. No, it's not like that anymore. I'm sorry, you have not looked into it lately, if that's what you think. And if you think other beings are driving fucking lawnmowers from the other side of like Andromeda, like they're using gas powered lawnmowers to get here, like you're just thinking like exactly how they want you to think. These people, they're not driving like gas powered things to get to Earth from the other side of the universe, if that's where they're coming from. They don't have to come from that far. Especially when there's such a thing as, interdimensional beings and travel and stuff like that. you know, it's it's reality. It's a reality, and it's going to be a rude awakening to those who actually are so quick to be like, no, that's fake. I've seen X Files. That's fake. It's like, what? What are you talking about? And it's quite insulting, you know, especially with all of the, even astronauts talk about these things, risking everything, risking their entire career, risking, even cops do it, and risking their pensions and stuff. They come out, and when they're told, like, airline pilots are told never to mention that they see these things, and they see them all the time as well, all the time. I've seen some shit. I've seen some shit. But it doesn't matter. Sometimes people have to see it to believe it. Even if I didn't see it, I would still believe it. I'm up in a freaking UFO right now. Nobody would believe me. I'm like Ezekiel, riding my little lawnmower in the stratosphere. Put, 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 put. It's like you could tell people that there's wormholes and stuff, and that you can bend space and time and get places within an instant, and they're still like, yeah, but aliens don't exist. It's like, okay, good luck with yourself. Even live TV is a lie. Yeah, oh yeah, everything is a lie. And it's rigged against all of us. While they're building spaceships out, and like sending things to Mars so we can start colonizing frickin' Mars without even going back to the moon to do that thing. To do that very thing. and that doesn't give people pause. Like, why aren't we going back to the moon? Like, what's up with that? Wouldn't you want to like just try to set up a base on the moon first, just to like get things in order? It's so much closer, and but no, they're going right for Mars for some reason. There's so much weird stuff in that kind of realm too. And I know there's probably a lot of common sense reasons why too, but when it comes to spending, when there's children going hungry, when does somebody think of the children? You would think that they would spend billions and billions and billions and trillions of dollars, wisely. But even money is a lie, so whatever. Sorry to be that guy, but money is a lie. I was in a hip hop group when I was a kid. We were called WWA. White Boys with Attitude. Hello, Diabolical. Hello, Diabolical. This stuff is unpredictable. There, I turned the fungus into a pyramid. Straight out of New Hampshire. Well, it looks like I finally got that corner done, at least. So let's look at the whole thing. There it is. So I'm trying to go black all the way around it, and that's a good example of what I'm trying to do, I guess. So now that T-Rex is just chilling. You're just chilling out in space. Okay. It takes a while, but once it's done, it really does look pleasant. Sorry, the camera setup sucks, kinda. So I'll go all the way up here too, and do the same thing up here, eventually. I have little stragglers coming off, but I already started doing it up here, as you can see. And then all the way down here. Still need to finish all that. But I'm well on my way. Kind of was thinking I might sit out here and do a few more sketches and stuff and edit something. That way I can have something to kind of work on while I'm dozing back off to sleep. I'm getting kind of tired again, so I feel like I could go in and take a nap. It's 10 after 3 where I live in the morning. Sometimes you just gotta get up and do something. Put yourself back out of... I want to do more puppets. Yeah, that's right, Therma. Puppets. She doesn't believe me, but it's true. At any rate, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the company. I appreciate the likes. And the good conversation. Good questions, too. I could talk about art all day. I'm just not... Sometimes I don't know if I give the right answers, but I do my best. But yeah, today's Thursday, so I hope everybody has a wonderful Thursday. I'm sure I'll be back on sooner than later. And take care of each other. Be creative. Inspire people. Intrigue people. Imprison people. Maybe not that last one. But you know, at least try to steal a few souls. And if you want, you can share them with me, because I'm hungry. And I love you. Bye, Phobia. You take care. Goodbye, OJ. And Vegan, if you're still there. Brandon, you take care of yourself. I appreciate the company. And Diabolical, if you're still there. Have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.